Good morning. Happy Saturday. How you doing today? Want to talk to you today about a couple of common household items that more than likely you probably have hanging around your house that we can repurpose. And I love it because we already paid for it, so we don't have to repay for it and we get more use out of it. Does that make sense? I hope so. Back in a minute. First of all, where did this previous week go? I know I record a few days earlier, but I'm even thinking of the previous week. Time is just going by way too fast. I've noticed that as I've gotten older, it seems to be going by even faster than that. So there. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I always get annoyed with these type of items, things that come in pouches. Pouches for this, pouches for that, pouches for this that I used up, half of it, and I closed. Pouches. Lots of our foods today come in pouches. Well, it could be a little bit annoying when you're trying to store a few of them. Now, here's a great solution, and it costs me nothing additional. If you happen to have one of these, those little tubs with the powder in it, the cocoa powder in it? If you have something like this, these are perfect for storing pouches. Just put it in your stockpile area. If you don't want to look at this, I have to work on covering it up with some pretty paper so I don't have to look at the brand name all the time. But it does its job. And it's not only good for this, but I have also used it to hold paper napkins. Yes, this is a great of course, try to make it look pretty, get some paper, but I wanted to keep this here for demonstration purposes. This type of packaging item is perfect. Now, I did keep the cover in case I change my mind and want to do something else with it. I could store sugar in it. I could store salt in it. I could store a little bit amounts of flour in it with the cover. It keeps it nice and close. Also, rice comes in handy, so don't be too quick. Now, I know we want to declutter. I get that. But if you're actually getting a purpose from it, like you using it, then it's not like clutter. Clutter are things that you're not going to use and just taking up space. In this case, I've repurposed, and that's A-okay by me. What says you? All right, now, these are so valuable. Okay, let me tell you something. All right, I still have a little bit of sliced ham in this, so it's not ready to go yet, but it doesn't go because I use it. And can I tell you, these make perfect single portion sizes to, like, when you make your own food and you want a single serve, you put it in here. And it actually, in my case, I've frozen things in here. I rinsed them out again. I've refrozen things in here. So if you treat it well, it will treat you well, okay? So these are great. All you have to do, for example, when I'm finished with this, all I will do is just peel off the top. Comes right off, like, ta-da, comes right off, okay? Just like that. Rinse it out. Voila, ready to go. These are durable, and believe it or not, they even stack well. They really, really do. Just last week, I made some homemade turkey meatloaf, and I cut it up. I had, a bunch left over, so I cut up a few slices, and I put them in containers like this, and I manufactured. That's why I always say we manufacture our own meals, right? In here, single serve portions. Even if you have a family of 4, single serve. Somebody might come in late and they want a little food, just pop it out, heat it up. Pop it out, of course, put it into your, baking tray. Not in this. You don't heat things up in this. I wouldn't. Save them. Perfect. Also, before I forget, Those little scraps of meat that we always talk about? Like if you're too full, don't ever throw those out. If it's in your plate, put your own label on it. Put your name on it so you know it's yours. Freeze it. Freeze it if you have that left over and reuse it. Just saying, waste not, want not. That's an old-fashioned expression, and it's true, and it absolutely works. It has worked for me over the years. Now, this, okay, take your ordinary can. So this particular can, it's not as let's say sturdy as some other cans that are like this of this type of product of oatmeal, but you could store cookies in this. You could wrap it up in pretty paper and take it as a take along, with cookies in this, and it makes a really nice gift. Now, if you want to like store, let's say, some tall objects in here, again with the pretty paper, but you don't want it to tilt, so put something that weighs it down on the bottom. If you could figure out how to do that, that would be great. Or mount it on top of something, that way it doesn't tilt. But reuse it. I mean, really, if you're really going to use it, not just create more clutter. See, I like to actually use it. This is kind of humorous, but years ago, and I still have it, and it's sitting in the same position. I took a can of Duncan Hines cake mix, the frosting. I cleaned it off. I, took the wrapper off, washed it out, blah, blah, blah. And I still store pens and pencils in it. By the way, you can also, if you don't want to put pouches in here, but pouches are really like an annoying item, like to store. You could also store, if you prefer, pens or pencils in this, because it's like a good height for it. And you can still see the top of it. So yeah, I mean, why not? And what's going on with my tin of popcorn, by the way, I learned something about myself every time. So every single year, a family member gifts me a tin of popcorn. It's like this cute little running joke that we have every year because that person knows I love those, okay? And I said, okay, so this year I'm going to figure out which is the first kind of the popcorn that I eat. One section is caramel flavor. The other section is, let's say, cheese coating on it. The other section is your, typical buttery flavor popcorn. Naturally, I had a little bit of the buttery one, had a little bit of the cheese one, but the one that I tore through in the last 2.5 weeks, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And I looked down and I said, the caramel one. But I still have a ton of the buttered popcorn, a ton of the cheese-coated popcorn. But when that can is finished, I'm not covering that with pretty paper because I love the holiday look to it with the little gnomes dancing on ice. And you've seen that. You've seen the actual can in prior videos at Christmas, during Christmas week. But what I'm going to do with that can, again, repurposed. I love those cans because they always get repurposed. None of them go away. I just use them. This one is definitely going to be like a little bit of a paper trash can. I'll put a bag in it and line it up. Take off the cover, of course, obviously, and keep it in my little home office. Because inevitably, there may be some little paper garbage. It's just free. Cost me $0. These things cost us $0, and we're getting our money's worth. And I say this, why not? But like I said, first, when you're decluttering, go through your stuff and please kiss goodbye stuff. But this stuff was new. And may I mention to you, getting back to this was for the, what ounces is this? Excuse me, 9-ounce package. So this is for the 9-ounce side, makes perfect single serve storage, okay? And I do put them in my freezer. There's another size, I think they call it family size, and I have a couple of those too. Those are really, really good, like if you're storing soup, stew. I mean, I have found it to be great. And it works, it just works. So make the best of the things you already paid for. You already have it. And why not? I really do appreciate everybody's time being here, but I also appreciate if you take just one little split second and do the following. And in this brand new year, 2024, we really should do a little bit more like this lady does. If you only do one thing and you don't even subscribe, if you enjoyed this video from the bottom of your heart, did really enjoy the video, please don't forget to click the like button. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourself and your family.